Welcome to Railtech Europe 2021.
That's for me at least what a successful conference means. And what about you?
Well, I just love trains, so already it's a success to me. And if I get pictures of beautiful new trains, then I'm happy. But also it's really easy and cheap to talk about ambitions because they're for free. Turning ambitions into reality, that's where it gets difficult. So I hope this conference really helps in getting beyond the obvious and beyond the things we already know and all agree on that we should do, and get to the point of when and how are we going to get to it. That's at least what I'm going to ask the speakers here on the main stage. 3, 2, 1.
And its even grander green future. I look forward to the discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Samson. I heard you very much about the pull factors to make the train more attractive and available. How about the push factors, just making the other options unavailable? Taxes on airlines or even making flying on short distances illegal, that would greatly help the trains as well.
Yes, it does. And well, the first are at least in our plans. The second is quite a nuclear option, I can tell you.
I understand you're not a fan of nuclear options, but if we want to be climate neutral in 2050, we might have maybe some more unusual measures.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And we're contemplating that. We're considering those measures. And we already had a first throw, so to speak, in the mobility strategy where we said, okay, everything below 500 kilometers should actually not by plane.
Laying tracks, building trains, getting all these things working takes so much time. By the time we finally have it, don't we just have hydrogen airplanes that are zero emission?
I don't think so. Because that will take even more time. But you're right, if we don't start today, it will take another day.
So ambition is good, legislation is maybe even better. If you agree with the audience that what they mainly are doing is bravely battling all the resistance?
Yeah, it's a funny picture to see them pushing the train. But I think I think the audience is right. We are still in that phase. But it's getting more and more to driving us to the promised land. That's the one I want to hear.
We want to hear. No, let's hear it from the Commission itself. Member states, rightly so, and citizens, rightly so, say, we want more trains. Then they go to the Commission and say, make plans for this. Then you make really ambitious plans for it. You go back to the member states and they say, oh, but this is really bad for our national carriers and our national interest. Take it down, Commission. And then they blame you for having no results. I don't envy your role.
Well, I think that the Commission is in its role where it should be to propose and afterwards to enforce, and so to push and to pull.
But on the other hand, when you talked already about the fourth railway package, if you compare what was adopted in the end versus what you proposed, it was gravely watered down, mainly by member states to protect the national interest and the national carriers.
Well, of course, we are the body which is proposing and afterwards enforcing. And so it is always in Europe a matter of, I would say, small steps, but steady steps.
We have this hybrid system where we don't have a solid state monopoly or state-run trains, nor that we have a completely open access system. Would you say we have the best of both worlds? Or do you say we have pasta mixed with sushi? It's...
That's nicely put. I think we have very close to the best of two worlds.
You're going to help me, you're going to find me a path from here to Madrid. Now we need a train that preferably can go, is certified in all the countries I'm going through. The idea is that I go to ERA, the European Railway Authority, but then there are different safety, I need a train that is capable of the different safety systems in all countries, plus ERTMS, plus all the different versions of ERTMS in every different countries. For example, I have a Bombardier Trax locomotive that's certified for Germany. Then I want to bring it into the Netherlands. Then I need to update the software of the locomotive with ERTMS for the Netherlands so it can go on our tracks. Then I lose my license for Germany. So the idea is I can certify one train for the whole track. In reality, Mr. Ruiters, I don't think I can find one locomotive, and maybe not even carriages, that can go all the way from Rotterdam to Madrid.
Well, you can. I mean, there are very clearly international trains running already. I won't say that it is an easy exercise today in Europe, but there are multi-current locomotives. There are also locomotives that are installed with the different systems, and the operations are clearly possible and ongoing already.
I have my train, I get my ticket sold. Now I need to notify the infra manager that my train is actually going to run. And here you would say there's a European directive, the highest level of European legislation that actually describes how this should be done. But then, in the Netherlands, I need to notify 30 days in advance. In Belgium, it's 7 days in advance. And in Germany, I have a problem. I already should have notified the infra manager when requesting a train path. So you made a directive explaining exactly how it should be done, but every country implemented it different, and this makes my life much more difficult. Why aren't you saying to those member states, this is not how the directive was meant, it should be the same in every country?
We need to further make steps in order to enhance.
You are preparing all this legislation and all these budget lines. Do you think that you will have the same exercise with the fourth railway package, that they will gravely water it down and you have to fight this uphill battle? Or has something really changed? Is 2021 a turning point? And will the discussion with the member states and the European Parliament be different than in the past?
Yes, it will be different. Because we have a Green Deal, which my colleague Diederik Samson will talk about. Because we have put in place an MFF budget, which is more ambitious than ever before. Because the fourth railway package has just come into force and we are going to enforce that one. Because we will have proposals this year on the TEN-T, on ITS and ticketing.
Mr. Voppe, where would you put your points?
Yeah, Marjan and I were just discussing, and we came to the same solution. It's procedural. Of course, we think some issues, technical issues, will be solved by ERTMS. We're sure about that. But the procedural part is the biggest part to be solved. Really. And you were doing this simple example like the language. We all speak in the different countries. Well, that's not a technical thing. It can be quite easily changed, you would say. That kind of procedural things, but we have a lot of examples in that area.
When you hear people talking about ERTMS, you hear them say, once we have ERTMS, trains will fly across the border with just 1 meter in between and we'll have world peace. But also here we see a lot of people say, well, there are technical issues, but they're not solved by ERTMS alone.
Well, I think for ERTMS will really solve the issues about the safety system.
But again, this example we had before, if your locomotive is certified for Germany, and you bring it to the Netherlands, and it needs to be software.
But that's procedural.
That's why Mr. Rintel had to buy Vectrons, where you already have trucks, and now you have different kind of locomotives, because you and not because you had to go drive to
Don't get that started. Don't get to the Vectrons. but it's a procedural thing. Yeah, but you're very well informed, and you do really love trains, isn't it?
I do. I really like trains.
I was discussing, but you're right. We have problems with these heavy trains in the Netherlands. But so far, what I've seen, and I think Mr. van Veldhoven said it, if we work together, if we get over these procedural cultural things and we get all the people on the table, and we've done it before. 15
minutes right now are biting their nails. Also, here you could say a train is a train, and we can make them lighter, we can make them easier to clean. But is there something, not a gradual improvement, but a breakthrough, a disruption that we're looking for?
Of course, the shiny new rolling stocks that hit the speed records, if the infrastructure allows.
Then the winner is Raillight by Triolight. Congratulations!
Yeah,
you don't sound like you're done with it. You want to talk more about it?
I want to go. I want to keep going. Railtech 2022.
Well, anyway, it's over. Do you want a drink?
Sure, yeah.
Marjorie, well,
of course.
We did the last session together.
Yes.
Out of the 3 days, this is also a question we have to the audience. After Railtech 2020, are you more or less convinced of the next things? It's that the European Year of Rail will be a success, that we can improve the reliability of rail, that the model shift will speed up, and that investing in digitalization pays off, and that trains are just great.
On the day before we started, the European Year of Rail was launched, and we all had this impression that it was just like a policy thing and just a lot of nice words and big words, but actually things came out of it.
I think I got convinced of it when I talked the day before with Harold of the commission. He said, no, this is not a celebration and then we go away. We already had the policies, we had the money, we just wanted the party to celebrate it. And I was like, this is going to be nice. This is going to be nice.
Together.
Yeah, and so people are really saying that people are enthusiastic. Well, the modal shifts will speed up. That's the widest variety.
Yeah.
Some people are less convinced and more.
It's the
I can
eternal
see why,
discussion.
yeah.
It's coming on. We're working at Promeda for some years now, and we do several different titles. We have transport and maritime, and of course rail and automotive. And everywhere it's the same discussion. How can we make modal shifts? How can we get the sustainable goals? And I think, people are,
It doesn't
perhaps not so
happen
much convinced.
also,
Oh, we're talking, it's going up.
Thank you so much, and see you next time.